Hello everyone! Can you believe National Arts Month is almost over? Time flies, doesn't it? But don't worry, we're not done yet. I have something special planned to wrap things up. Remember back before 2001 when we had the Department of Education, Culture and Sports, or DEX? So things have changed since then. They've dropped the culture and sports sections and concentrated solely on education. Some of the culture and sports related staff or agencies are now under the purview of the Office of the President or OP. However, there's some skepticism about this current setup, particularly in terms of budgets and control. Many people, or few, believe we need a new department to handle this properly, one that will last through multiple administrations or ministries. That's an idea that I fully support. Before we get into this topic, please be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. There are at least 9 agencies that deal with culture, arts, and sports in some way. We've got the Commission sa Wikang Filipino, the Film Development Council of the Philippines, the Games and Amusement Board, and a few others. All of these agencies are under and they report to the Office of the President. Yup, you heard that right. That's why the budget is too big for them. And here's why that it could be problematic. For starters, having all these agencies under one roof may make them less responsive to the unique needs of each sector. Plus, bureaucracy tends to slow things down. Then there's concern about political interference and lack of public oversight, the whole transparency thing. Let's not forget about the potential for corruption if things aren't kept in check. It's like the perfect storm for shady dealings. So yeah, this setup has its red flags. It's like we're asking for trouble if we don't address these issues head on. So one of the basic solutions is to set up a new department, that is to add a chair in the cabinet room in Malacanang. It's surprising that despite all the talk about establishing a Department of Culture, nothing happened during the 2 Congresses under then President Rodrigo Duterte. But hey, now that the second Marcos regime's in power, and like the first one, they would appear to have a soft spot for culture. Just like his mother, perhaps it's finally time to act. House Bill number 6853 is the only bill on the subject introduced in the current 19th Congress. As of this recording, it has been sitting in the Committee on Government Reorganization for over a year with no significant progress. So here's my take. Why stop at culture? Why not include both arts and sports to make it as the Department of Culture, Arts and Sports, or GCASH for short? Setting up GCASH or GCASH has the advantage of bringing all of these areas together, making it easier to coordinate efforts and focus on what is most important. Furthermore, it may encourage greater collaboration among cultural, artistic, and athletic groups, resulting in some exciting interdisciplinary projects. Of course, there are obstacles to overcome. For example, establishing a completely new department adds more layer to the bureaucratic cake. The president must appoint a secretary, undersecretaries, assistant secretaries, and even spokespersons. Don't forget that they have to set up regional offices to ensure that everyone in the country gets a share of the pie. And when it comes time to divide the budget, you can bet there will be heated debates to justify where every peso goes. Then there are political considerations to consider and determine what will happen to the existing agencies and stakeholders in the mix. And don't underestimate the difficulty of defining exactly what GCASH will do and ensuring that there are enough people with the necessary skills to make it happen. Now some may argue that this is a waste of taxpayer money, especially if they believe in libertarianism or the night watchman state, which in reality is a mere speck in the sand of the desert of our, needless to say, indifferent collectivist society. Suppose the new executive department would definitely materialize as I thought. What's going to happen with the NCCA and others? If we're talking about establishing the Department of Culture, Arts and Sports or GCASH, there will be some reshuffling. The NCCA, for one, would be the prime target of dissolution and transformation. It's similar to what happened in 1987, when the National Science and Technology Authority or NSTA was renamed to the Department of Science and Technology, DOST, or more recently in 2022, when the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration or POEA was transformed into the Department of Migrant Workers or DMW. In terms of other agencies that would fall under GCASH, I don't believe there would be many changes. They would carry on with their usual duties and functions, just with a new boss in town. To sum up, establishing the Department of Culture, Arts and Sports appears to be a wise long-term decision. It will give these critical areas a proper seat at the cabinet table, which is a plus. But let's not kid ourselves, it'll introduce some bureaucracy into the mix. Overall, the concept is intriguing, but it is not without challenges. We need to think this through carefully, maybe conduct some feasibility studies and get feedback from everyone who will be affected. Before we proceed with a major government shakeup like this, we must ensure that we are doing everything correctly. Do you, dear surfers, believe it is time for a government department dedicated to culture, the arts, and sports? Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.